oftentimes in the UFC, you'll see guys when they go up in weight, they become their best version. Like Charles Oliveira is a great example of that. Like he fought for 145 for a while rather, and he fought very well, but never really hit the strides that he hit when he went up to 155.
He's on a roll now.
Oh my God, he's so good.
He's on a roll.
He's so good.
And people take different approaches. They talk smack, get fights. There's a whole different ways to do it. He's so respectful. And so nice.
Yes.
And it's like, whatever, I guess it's different for everybody, but man, he's got something that's working right now, and he's hard not to root for.
Yeah, well, that's who he is. He's a very, very nice guy. And he got screwed in his last fight. There was some shenanigans with the scale. Some people had messed with the scale. Here's a problem with these digital scales. Foreign fighters, they use kilograms. And in America, obviously, we use pounds.
Right.
And so the foreign fighters were, like, these scales are calibrated. And then the foreign fighters would reset the scale so they could switch it back to kilograms. So it fucks up the whole calibration.
Oh, I see.
And so he would weigh in, or he weighed in like the night before the weigh-ins. He was like, oh, I'm good to go. And then in the morning, he goes and shows up for the weight cut, and it's a pound plus off. And that is directly related to this calibration thing.
Calibration issue, yeah,
so
makes sense.
Now they have the UFC has a new policy because of this, where they have a guard who watches over the scale 24 hours a day. Like, they have shifts where no one can fuck with the scale. Like, if you're going to get on that scale to try yourself, they're going to watch you like a hawk, and you don't press any buttons. You don't just get on. What's your weight? Get off. That's it. So these guys were monkeying around with the scale, and
that's surprising that even at the level that UFC's at right now, that was still hadn't got that figured out.
It's Phoenix.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's not a knock on Phoenix. I love Phoenix. It's just that the people that are there don't do high level world championship MMA fights on a regular basis. They do a few. We've had a good time there. Yeah. They've had some good events there, but they just made a mistake. They'll let these guys do it, and there should have been someone watching the scale. And the scale was off, and that's a fact. And that's why Oliveira, look, it's not the best excuse because Justin Gaethje made weight.
Yeah.
Everybody else made weight except one of the women that fought earlier in the night. She didn't make weight, but that's it.
But how? So I wanted Gaethje in that fight. I'm a Justin Gaethje fan. I love all his team. I like his attitude. I like he's just a
he's awesome.
So tough. But how impressive is it that Oliveira can have that all that drama, which how you got to be in the right mindset to fight, I imagine. And he's got to overcome all this, and still then he gets rocked. Yeah. Gets rocked twice by Gaethje, who's got hands of stone. And still comes back and wins.
Well, here's what's interesting about Charles Oliveira. When Charles Oliveira fights, even though he's the champion, he fights like a berserker. He puts himself in danger. Like, he doesn't fight safe. He doesn't fight to try to outpoint you. He doesn't fight tactically, like where he's trying to get, the least amount of damage and drag you into deep water and then strategically try to take you out in the fourth and fifth round. No. From the moment the first bell rings, he's coming at you.
Engaging,
guns blazing. And Gaethje was coming at him too, but it's like Gaethje was overwhelmed by Oliveira's pace and his aggression. It's why, and even when Gaethje cracked him, Oliveira's so different than anybody else. When he gets hit, he just lays on his back. Yeah. And he's like, come get some of this. And nobody wants that guard game.
He gets a break.
So he's got the most submissions in the history of the sport.
He recovers.
Yes, because nobody wants to go to the ground with him.
Normally, guys would just come bombing in. Yeah. Just try to land anything extra. It's like when you wound an animal, any other arrow in it is go. You're just trying to glance something off, catch something. Most time, guys will hurt a guy, come in and just go crazy. But not with him.
No, you don't want that ground game. Yeah. His ground game is so elite. It's so good. I mean, I wonder how he would do in a world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. Because I think he would do very well. Because I watched the way he finishes submissions, the way he syncs things up. I mean, it is top of the food chain stuff. I've seen a lot of jiu-jitsu in my days. I've rarely seen anyone compete in MMA that closes the show like Oliveira when the fight goes to the ground. His shit is razor sharp.